Welcome back. If I hadn't seen the commercials, I'd say Jason Lee was the most interesting man in the world. That's because he's a whole lot more than an actor in My Name is Earl and all those Kevin Smith movies. One of his other passions, photography, had him giving a talk at Eastman Museum tonight. Well, his most recent work brought him to Tattered Towns of Texas, and he wanted to talk about that. Minutes after he arrived in Rochester, we chatted about the project and its link to Kodak.
As I looked into your career, how it wasn't fair. You're a professional, or were a professional skateboarder. Yeah. You're a talented actor, and now a recognized photographer. It's a lot for one person.
Very grateful, absolutely. Very grateful, yeah. I mean, I think it's safe to say that everything came from skateboarding. And it just instills in you this sense of spontaneity. And so when I'm road tripping as a photographer now, I'm very much feeling those similar feelings to being younger and crammed in a van with a bunch of other skaters touring the country and staying in roadside motels because you're on a budget.
So while the mentality's the same, I'm curious to know how you were able to notice the bridge between skateboarding and photography.
I had already been acting for about 6 years. But for some reason, I never really paid much attention to sort of what goes on the other side of production. And just one day, I just kind of was just in a daze staring at one of the cameras, and I thought, oh man, I used to shoot Super 8 film, and what, you know, and I was off and running.
You used 4x5 Kodak for the most recent project.
And for my Oklahoma series, I'm also using Kodak 4x5. Yeah.
What was it about that attracted you?
Well, I'm using old film. Expired film can be kind of interesting. A little fadey, a little grittier, a little unpredictable.
Going back to skateboarding, we here in Rochester may very well get a skate park pretty soon. Wow. It's a big proposal. It's moving forward. It seems pretty quickly.
Okay.
What are the benefits for folks who don't know about skate parks to have one in your city?
You have places where kids can now go that maybe don't do the football or the baseball thing or whatever, you know.
A lot of people study acting from 4 years old up.
Sure.
You were doing skateboarding and you kind of just moved into that, and the next thing you know, you're you. Did you know that was in you, in a way?
I had a friend that knew a casting director that was casting a Kevin Smith film called Mallrats, which was his second film.
The food court is downstairs. The cookie stand is upstairs. It's not like we're talking quantum physics here.
And somehow I ended up getting the part. And when I got to set and started working, I was all the you know, confidence that maybe I had still carried with me from being like a kid who thought he was funny back in school or whatever. All that went out the window, because as soon as those cameras started rolling, I completely froze. It was so awkward. But I got through it, just like anything that you got to get used to.